news now. We're looking at HDFC Bank's numbers, which were expected on Saturday, and here they are. The PAT has come in at 7,513 crore rupees. The year-on-year comparison is 6,345 crores, and the gross NPAs have come in at 1.08%. Sequentially, it's a decline because it was 1.36%, and their NNPAs is 0.17%. Let's get more details from my colleague Varun. Varun, optically at least, looking at these numbers of HDFC Bank, how's it looking? If you can walk us through them.
Yeah, sure, Vikram. So it's a pretty much in-line result as to what we had planned in our poll. So if you look at our poll figure, our NII was expected to come in at 15,900. So it's pretty much in line. On the profit front, though, it's definitely a beat. We were working more with the 6,500 figure. And by we, I mean all the brokerages. These are all consensus estimates that came out. So it's a very handsome growth over last year's 6,300. That's more than, it's around 15% PAT growth. And let me remind you that provisions have stayed elevated this quarter. So if you look at the provisions figure, it's 3,700 crore versus last quarter's 3,892. Now, the COVID effect is still on. So a lot of these provisions are COVID-related provisions. I'm still going to dig through the press release to figure out exactly what the COVID provision is. But despite that, your profit being good is obviously a good sign. We also want to pay attention to the margins and see what happened there. So that's, again, something that we're going to get into shortly. But on the face of it, I'd say it's very much in line with our poll.
Yes, pretty much in line, and we're expecting more information to come through as far as the margin picture is concerned as well. Provisions, like Varun was pointing out, is 3,704 crore rupees, and despite that, the profit after tax has come in at 7,513 crore rupees, which is optically looking rather in line with what the expectations were and what the poll was suggesting as well. Let's get in experts onto this. Lalitabh Srivastav and Ashutosh Mishra, both of these gentlemen joining us on the phone line. Let me connect with Lalitabh first. Lalitabh, good to have you this evening. If you have been able to go through HDFC Bank's numbers, at this point in time, looking at these numbers optically, it seems like they're pretty much in line. Do they match your estimates as well, and how are you reading into them?
Yeah, hi. Good afternoon, and thanks for having me. So the numbers seems to be, in line, or I would say slightly ahead of expectations. Also, it is very important that on an asset quality front, the bank has performed, I think, very well. That, I think, is a positive. So on the P&L side, it is along expectations, but asset quality improving sequentially, I think that's a positive.
Looking at the way the bank has been able to maneuver itself through the COVID kind of situation, provisions have gone up. 3,704 crore rupees is what it's coming in at. And quarter on quarter, it's a slight decline because last quarter it was 3,892 crore rupees. Despite that, the profit number is looking good, Lalitabh. How do you read into that?
Yeah, so this quarter, it was expected that there will not be a big amount of slippages. So the provisions that were supposed to be done, most probably they will be done on the standard asset or in anticipation of whatever restructuring that the bank would be doing. At this point of time, how I see it is that, sequentially it is, I don't see a very, sharp movement in the provision side, which indicates that things are progressing as the management had planned, or so not a very significant amount of variation that I am seeing. I think that should be seen as a positive at this point of time.